We're always told that being alone is, well, something to avoid, right? That it's a sign of failure. But what if it's actually a superpower? In this explainer, we're going to dig into why we're so afraid of being alone and figure out how to flip that script, turning it into a source of incredible strength. Okay, let's get one thing straight right from the jump. The stakes here, they are huge. This isn't just about hurt feelings. According to Dr. Vivek Murthy, the former US Surgeon General, loneliness is a full-blown public health crisis. It can literally impact our bodies as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. I mean, just let that sink in. That is a staggering fact. So if loneliness is as physically damaging as smoking, why do we treat it like some kind of taboo? Why do we see it as a shameful, personal secret instead of a health issue? That's the big question we're going to unpack here. And that brings us to our first section. We really have to stop looking at this as some individual problem and start seeing it for what it actually is, a widespread modern epidemic. This is such a critical distinction. The real pain isn't just the act of being by yourself. No, the pain comes from the feeling of being left behind. It's that deep-seated belief that you're unwanted, not the simple fact that you happen to be in a room by yourself. So where does that awful, painful belief even come from? Let's dig into that in our next section. Because this fear, well, it isn't something we're born with. Nope, it's learned. From the time we're kids, we're conditioned by everything around us. Social cues, stories, movies, to see being by yourself as a problem that needs to be fixed. And this is what that conditioning creates, right? The stereotype of the loner. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The kid eating alone in the cafeteria, and we imagine all these judging eyes on them. Movies and books tell us over and over that this person is weak, an outcast who desperately needs saving. And we become absolutely terrified of being seen that way. But here's the twist. A lot of this fear is just a projection. We're so worried about what everyone else is thinking that we become our own worst critic. The author of our source material talks about being in college and being consumed with the thought, what if they think I'm a loner? But the truth was, nobody else was thinking that at all. It's like David Foster Wallace said, you'd worry a lot less if you knew how little other people actually think about you. This fear of being seen as a loner leads us right into another trap, one that keeps us totally passive, just waiting around. Let's call it the myth of a savior. Come on, we've all seen this story 1,000 times. The broken, lonely main character is just drifting through life until, poof, the perfect partner or best friend appears out of nowhere. This person gives them hope, teaches them to love, and suddenly they can face the world together. It's a really nice story, but it's also a pretty dangerous fantasy. So let's just look at this side by side. On the left, you've got the movie fantasy. We're taught to just wait for a hero to show up and pull us out of our lonely pit. But real life, on the right, that works differently. The empowering truth is that you have to build your own staircase. You and only you are responsible for your happiness. Nobody is coming to save you. And, clinging to this savior myth, it causes this really unique kind of pain. When you wait for an imaginary rescuer who's never going to arrive, you're just setting yourself up for this profound disappointment. As the source material says, you will have to mourn the loss of someone you never had in the first place. It's basically a self-inflicted heartbreak. Okay, so if we're supposed to get rid of the fear and the fantasy, what's left? This brings us to the most important reframe in this entire explainer. Understanding the huge difference between being alone and being lonely. This right here, this is the key that unlocks absolutely everything else. We have to actively unlearn the idea that these two words mean the same thing. They are fundamentally different experiences. So let's break this down. On one side, you've got lonely. That's a feeling of misery. It's seeing yourself as a victim. It's a curse that you feel needs to be fixed. But on the other side, alone is just a state of being. It's neutral. It's not a curse, it's an opportunity, a chance for growth, for reflection, and just for the simple act of being with yourself. And this image just visualizes that transformation perfectly, doesn't it? The subtitle of the book says it all. Solitude is my home, loneliness was my cage. It's that journey from the prison of how you think others see you, that cage, to the liberating, free space of just being comfortable with yourself, your home. Once you make that shift, once you step out of that cage and realize solitude can be your home, a whole new world of possibility just opens right up. This is where your story truly begins. I love this quote because it just perfectly captures the two sides of this coin.
Yeah, it can be a little scary to realize that no one is coming to save you, but the flip side of that is so exhilarating. You're on your own now. You're free.
And that's what that freedom really means. You don't have to play the part of the victim waiting for a hero anymore. You can stop following that disempowering script that society handed you. You get to be the writer, the director, and the star of your own life. So the ultimate takeaway is this. By reframing what it means to be alone, you move from being a supporting character in someone else's story to being the main character in your own. So the question is no longer, who is going to save me? The only question that really matters is the one right here on the screen. You are the main character. What happens next?